Namaste. This is me, Divakar Upadhyay Aryal. I work as a lecturer at the Central Department of English at Tribhuvan University here in Kathmandu, Nepal. And this is my blog, a video diary. Today it is February 12th, Sunday 2023, and I want to record some significant happenings of my day-to-day as the university teacher. So today I came across two sets of question papers, and as I was reading the papers, I found some serious typos in the question papers. There were some other serious lapses in the question paper. And what made me thoughtful was, how could a set of question papers that contained such severe language lapses get through something called, I guess, moderation committee in the Department of the Examinations at my university. I felt bad. I wish the people concerned with this thing had paid more attention, right? So my day began with something bad experience about my working place. This is the semester break at the university. We do not have regular classes, so we have lax routine, let's say. So I reached my university in the afternoon, and as I went to the department, I work at the Central Department of English, as I said earlier. As I reached the department, I got into the administrator's room. That is where we fix our thumb on the electronic attendance device to mark our presence. First, I marked my presence on the electronic sensor, and as I turned toward the administrator's desk, I saw that he was arranging some record files. He was putting some papers in the files. As I looked closely, I found that he was putting attendance sheets in the files. Maybe he was preparing attendance files for new classes, because our classes for the third semester are starting from the day after tomorrow. So he was preparing for the upcoming classes. And I asked him if I could also get my attendance sheet. He asked my section. I told him, and he quickly filed a sheet that contained the names of the students I was going to teach, and filed the page and gave it to me. Then, out of curiosity, I asked him where my classroom was. He was not sure where my classroom was. I used to take my class of the second semester students in room number 109 last year. It's in the new clock tower building. That's quite modern building, nice style, and two-story building. Looks beautiful with aesthetic appeal. The classrooms are very spacious, big, and they have very advanced projector fixed on the ceiling with a remote. They have a nice teacher's podium. They have electricity sockets, and there are nice, clean, beautiful desks and benches. Uh, there are two rows with aisles between, big windows. It's a well lit room, hygienic room with cross flow of the air, and we all love taking class there. Though that was not my assigned classroom last year, but almost every day we had a class, we would go there. And because when we had class there, there was no other classes, so be we would study in that room. So I wanted to see if I could take my class there even this year. And I asked him, and he said that I could not take my class, I could not run my class in that room 109 this year. And then I was a bit dismayed and I said, why? Then he said, sir, last year we allowed only you to take a class there, and then gradually many other teachers also followed your example, and then almost everyone started taking class in 109 classroom, and then it was very difficult to manage MPhil classes and PhD classes because those rooms are allotted for MPhil and PhD classes. Then I said, why? I could take classes there last year. There was no disturbance to MPhil PhD. So why will that be not a good idea this year? He said, no, sir, we decided not to allow any MA teachers to take classes there because last year we had some difficulty. This made me really thoughtful, because the classes where I used to take MA classes the year before last year in the building behind our office, they are not hygienic. They are, let's say, a bit dilapidated. Particularly, the desks and benches are decades older. They have iron structure where a rough wooden plank is fixed, and they are a bit awkward to sit in. So I normally don't like such kind of structure of and moreover, they have desks and benches arranged in rows and columns. And it's the whiteboard is there are two whiteboards, a black cemented board, and there is another white plywood board layered over the cemented board, and it doesn't have aesthetic appeal. It didn't attract me. So I wanted to take class in the MPhil building. But when I was told that this year I could not take class in MPhil building, more things worried me. Because in the buildings behind the department, we have to place the projector on the teacher's desk. And we have to drag the desk back and forth to make sure the images are well focused on the whiteboard. And then when we focus the images on the whiteboard, we can't write because there is no additional space to project the pictures and to write while we teach. See, do you understand my point? We have to project the images on the same whiteboard where we write. So when we project the images and when we go to write over the whiteboard, then we come between the projector's rays and the whiteboard. And it's quite awkward. And moreover, last semester we did not have electricity in those classrooms. So I was not willing to teach there. But it was quite sad to learn that we were not allowed to take class in that new building. Now, let me tell you something more serious here. What made me thoughtful here was that my university discriminated. This is how I feel. You may disagree with me, and please, I beg your pardon if I hurt your feelings here, because this is a diary. I'm allowed to open my heart here. So I felt very bad to see how my university discriminated between the MA students and the MPhil and PhD students. I asked myself why this is happening. And my hunch said that probably uh, MPhil students and PhD students are paying higher amounts of fees to the university in comparison to my MA students. And because the university is earning more from MPhil and PhD students and less from MA students, are they discriminating? Otherwise, how can you imagine that in the same university, in the same department, two groups of students are treated differently regarding their academic facilities? This is unimaginable in the academy because we are teaching grand ideas of equity and equality at the university. But I wonder if we really are practicing equity and equality at the university. We are practicing discrimination. It hurt me really. So, this made me very sad as I came across this thing. Then I asked the official, well, where can I teach then? He didn't know. He thought for a while and he looked at the teacher standing by my side. He looked into his eyes and he said, Sir, should I tell him the same classroom as last year? Then the teacher nodded his head and the official told me, Divakar sir, your class is either 49 or 53. This made me sad, very sad. And with a gloomy face, I said, Is there electricity? Then the teacher standing by my side said, There was. Because last semester there was no electricity and we could not run projectors there. Then I said, Is the classroom cleaned? Then I said, I want to see my classroom, the condition of the classroom. I want to see the facilities available there. I want to check desks and benches, the condition, light, and everything before my class starts, at least 2 days before. So I asked him if the classroom was cleaned, and I told him how in the previous semester I used to carry a bottle with spirit in my bag and a small handkerchief, and how I would dip spirit on the cloth and I will wipe the whiteboard myself. I had no one to wipe the whiteboard. Sometimes, occasionally, the PN would come and wipe it for me. Otherwise, we do it ourselves. So I was not happy to know that I have to go to that classroom to teach this year. So I inquired these things. And then what I told him that I have about 35 students in my class, third semester class now. And in the classroom, what happens is that the whole class is filled with desks and benches. There are more desks and benches than we need. And the classroom doesn't look beautiful. So I asked him, can we move some desks and benches that we don't need? Because we have rows and columns and I want to arrange desks and benches into U shape. Because when the semester classes started almost 9 years before the department, I well remember the spirit of semester classes. The then head said that no, we will restructure the classrooms as well. And then the department decided that we will have U-shaped classes. The department decided that we won't have more than 30 or 40 students. We decided that the teacher should be able to have an access to every student. So we decided to make a U shape of the class. Let's say, I don't know how to say it, U shape, so that in the U shape we have almost 1 or 2 rows only, and there is enough empty space at the center of the classroom for the teacher to stage himself there, the drama of teaching, pedagogical drama, performance, so that the teacher could go around the class and attend every student. This was desirable because I am going to run a, a writing workshop. So in order to run a writing workshop, I need to run around the class and look at everybody's writing, right? So I wanted to structure my class in U shape with at least only one row or two rows at the most. But at present in the classroom, we have a number of desks and benches arranged in columns and rows. And when you place students in columns and rows, psychologically, it encourages you to lecture from the podium because you feel like you have the big audience ready to listen to you, and you as a teacher start delivering your lecture. And in a writing class, lecture is not desirable. That's why I was willing to make sure that this year I have my classroom structured in U shape. So I asked him, can't we remove additional desks and benches and keep only desks and benches we require and arrange them in U shape? He said, no. I said, why? He said, almost every 15 days, almost every month, the department or the university runs examinations, and then we have to rearrange the U-shaped structure into desks, into rows and columns for examinees to take their examinations. And the other day when the exam is over, we can't quickly rearrange it to U-shape again. I said, why you can't do that? When exams are running, keep them in row and columns. When exams are over, rearrange them into U-shape. He sternly said, no, sir, we can't do that. I said, why? He said, we don't have the peon to take desks and benches outside and put them back in. I said, we don't have peon? He said, no. I felt like pulling the lobes of my ear. I said, really? Do we not have a peon? He said, no, sir. I said, at the oldest university of my nation and at its central campus, at its central department, we don't have peon? He said, no, sir. I couldn't believe, as I'm making this blog, still I can't believe we don't have peon there. Then the teacher is standing by my side. I asked him, sir, do we really not have a peon? He said, yes, sir. We don't have a permanent peon. We have only one wage earning peon, and that single person cannot do all this work. Then I said, okay, I'll do them. I will take out the desks and benches. I will put them back in. Then the official said, no, sir, you shouldn't do that. What pinched me, what made me sad, what made me thoughtful was that how an administrator or an official in the administration did not understand the spirit of a university teacher. As a teacher, I wanted U-shaped class because I understand how even the placing of desks and benches in a classroom affects learning and teaching at the university. But the official didn't understand this pedagogical reality, and he thought that learning is learning, teaching is teaching, place students any way you like. The teacher's job is to speak continuously for an hour or so. They will understand. So for him, you can place students any way you like. For me, how students sit in a class has direct correlation with whether they learn or not, or how well or how poorly students learn. And I was sad that I could not convince the official at my university, to arrange the desks and benches in U shape. Now I'm afraid that when I go to my class, first class on Tuesday, I will find desks and benches in rows and columns, students sitting as if they were in the sermon hall with the father at the front, a huge crowd where the only thing I can do is lecture from the podium. I'm afraid, but I cannot run my writing workshop in that structure. Well, this is what I wanted to record in this blog, BLOG. I decided to record like this audio visually because it's more aesthetic, more appealing, and I can reach more audience. If any of my colleagues are watching it, if any of my seniors are watching it, please forgive me if anything I said here has stirred your emotions or has anyway made you unhappy, because I thought I should be honest and I should speak my heart in my diary. Such diaries sometimes I feel might tell more about my university than any other kind of writings. Thank you so much for giving almost 22 minutes from your busy schedule and watching me. Please do leave your comments, criticisms, and suggestions in the comment box below. Thank you so much.